Hello again. Welcome to episode 2. The lighting is very different this episode than it was my first episode, because my first episode was at high noon, and now it is about 7 p.m. Come this way with me. I'll show you what that's like. Now, people walk by all the time and ask me about this lace top hydrangea. And they say, well, how did you get it to be that color? And how did you end up with so many blossoms on it? So what I say is usually, well, it's usually a little bit nature and a little bit nurture. So we did get a lot of rainfall this past spring in April and in May. But last fall, when I put my garden to bed, one of the things that I do is I use bone meal. Plants like this really love bone meal, and I just sprinkle it all around the perimeter of the plant. And of course, this plant wasn't that big in the fall. And then this spring, I gave it some. I bought some good fertilizer, and I don't know what it's called. I bought it at an Agway down the street from us, and this is what was recommended for blooms. And but it came in little pellets, and you just take it in your hand and kind of sprinkle it around in the dirt. I wish I could tell you the name of it, but anyway, it came out like this. Now, one of the things that the other thing about this plant is that sometimes the underneath leaves, there'll be a stem that comes out, and there'll be just green leaves that come out and kind of hide the beauty of the blossoms. So a couple of times during its blossoming, I just come by with my clippers and clip the green leaves out, and I can't really see one right now to give you an example. So no, they all have blossoms on them. So okay, but well, you can see here where I clipped one off. Here we go. So this branch was probably out here, and it had these big green leaves on it, which blocked a lot of the beauty of the blossoms. So there were probably a dozen or so of those around. So I just clipped them back. And I think that makes a big difference as well, because what you're focusing on is the blossoms and not the leaves. So that's my lace top hydrangea, and I hope you can see the beauty of the color of it. I'm not sure the light shows it off in its best color, but anyway, it's pretty spectacular. So here's my little pot of zinnias, just an ordinary pot of zinnia, regular annuals. The reason that I'm kind of proud of this is that I had not planted zinnias from seeds before. So I started in the spring with seeds, and when the spring comes around, my plan is to show you how to start plants, and start with the simple basics. That's what this is all about. And the message is that if I can garden, anybody can garden. You start small, you start simple, you start with just some basic things, and then you move through your gardening years. I've been working on my gardens at this house for about 21 years now. So it's a mature, I would say it's a mature garden. So one other thing that I want to show you tonight, because they're withering down, is one of my favorite daylilies. I know daylilies, again, is just an ordinary plant. Everybody seems to have them in their yards. But the reason that people have them in their yard is because they're easy to care for. They come back every year. They're drought resistant. I do water mine more now than I ever have, but I'm retired now, so I have more opportunity to come out here and fuss with my garden and give them more water. And I think that's another reason that my plants are doing so well this year, because I've been fussing over them more. So follow me, and I just want to show you my last daylilies. All my other daylilies have withered away, so come with me. Here are my some daylilies. I have 5 different plants, 5 different colors. I have orange and yellow, and these I consider white, although sometimes you know they're pale yellow in the bright sun. I have some purple ones and a different kind of orange one. I'm actually looking for a red one that has red blossoms on it. So I can't wait to find that. It's part of the joy of gardening for me too, is being on the hunt for a special plant that you want, and you might not find it the first or second year. So it's just, you know, it's the joy of looking. And oh, I said I was only going to show you one more thing, but now I have something else to show you. This is kind of cool, and this is a gardening surprise, which just, you know, it's part of the joy of gardening, really. So a neighbor had given me some sunflower seeds a couple years ago. I planted them, deliberately planted them. They grew to be 6 feet tall. They were huge. But as you can see, my gardens are I have a lot of little gardens. So if I put something in, sometimes it overwhelms the whole garden. And I like it to, you know, to give space to all of my plants and not just have something be just so big and taking up all the attention. The attention needs to be shared. Anyway, last year, 2 seeds, I didn't deliberately plant them, 2 other sunflowers grew up. And again, I thought, well, geez, they grew, I'm not going to pull them up now. And now this year, voila, 2 more sunflowers grew up out of nowhere. I didn't see them because underneath here, these are Asiatic or Asian lilies, and they're pretty spectacular. I think they have these. They get about this tall, and they have these great big orange blossoms on them on the top, and they're just, again, they come up every year, low maintenance. They look pretty when they're blossoming, and after they blossom, what I do is because they get kind of floppy. So I come back and I deadhead them, but I deadhead them low. So and so when I was cutting these back, lo and behold, I said, "Oh, what's that?" I was ready to pull it up, thinking it was a weed, but as soon as I touched it, I knew it was a sunflower. And here they are, 2 beautiful sunflowers, and I believe this one has. You can see it has a little blossom on it, ready to go. And let's check this one. Nope, that one doesn't have a blossom yet. But I will show you when they're blossomed, and they're pretty cool. Let's see, what else is of interest in here? These were these are gone by. These come out. They're all yellow. These are primroses. Well, I guess I still have some that are coming out. But again, it's the middle of the summer, middle of July, and things really start fading. The most spectacular month is really May and June. I should say months, May and June, when so many things are in blossom and really, really spectacular. But things are fading, but other things are coming out. So that's another trick of gardening, that you start managing your garden flowers, so when one does start losing its blossoms, something else is coming up and coming out that's of interest in that area of your garden. So that's all I want to talk about this evening. So tune in again for episode 3, when I will hopefully have some tomatoes on my vine, and I can show you that. It's my little vegetable garden, and when I say little, it's really little, and it's my first time planting vegetables, and so I'm kind of excited about that, and I will show you next time. All right, thanks for tuning in. Bye.